Pledge is about three misfits that are struggling with social acceptance. It's rush week and college fraternities are currently recruiting. Unfortunately, these three guys have been rejected from pretty much every fraternity on campus, and that's when they come across a beautiful young lady who tells them about a party at a social club house. However, they assume that this is a fraternity as well, and after being rejected pretty much everywhere else, they decide to attend this party as a last-ditch effort before they go home, play video games, and get drunk together and go to sleep, just the three of them. So they're struggling to make friends, and they see this as their last opportunity. To their surprise, and mind you, right now they're not suspicious at all because this beautiful young lady actually even spoke to them and everyone else just kind of really ditched them and rejected them. They don't find it suspicious at all. They come to the house and they're actually welcomed. And inside the house there are two other guys who are looking to be recruited into this social club or fraternity. However, the three guys that are leading this fraternity who we meet inside the house kind of have other evil intentions. And the three pledges are really in for a torturous time. Think of The Skulls meets Hostel. That's the kind of vibe that I got from this movie, but those are the two movies did it a lot better. Pledge, clearly low budget. The acting is mediocre. It's definitely not that good. I have seen some positive reviews, but I don't really know why. Maybe it's just got a pretty high percentage amount on RottenTomatoes.com because not many reviewers have actually reviewed the film. But it's definitely, I don't think it's as good as Rotten Tomatoes says it is. It definitely does lack in some acting. And the storyline doesn't really go anywhere original or new. Everything we see has been done before, and it's actually been done a lot better. Even with a lot of the torture scenes or a lot of the initiation sequences, nothing really is original, and I wasn't impressed with anything that I saw. I didn't sort of have any kind of emotional reaction to anything. I wasn't attached to any of the characters. I didn't really care if they lived or died. I wasn't surprised at some of the attempted twists either. You can kind of really see them coming. However, right at the end, there is kind of a bit of a surprise, but it really, like, the horse had bolted. The ship had sailed. The movie already was pretty plain and ordinary, and it's worth a watch, one time, but definitely not something that I'll be watching again or recommending to anyone that they must watch it, and not something that I'll be adding into my collection. And I actually have a sweet spot for films like this about college and fraternities because I've always wanted to live that American college fraternity life. In Australia, I went to university here, but it's just like a bigger high school. You go to university, you come home, you go to sleep, you go there again, do your classes, come home, do your homework, go back. Like, you don't actually have a roommate or stay like in dorms like in college and just go crazy and party on your own. Your parents are still there monitoring you and parenting you at all times. So I always wanted to live that life, and I definitely have a sweet spot for movies like this. However, there's just nothing special or original about Pledge. I give Pledge a 7 out of 13. It's not terrible. There are a lot worse movies out there. It's still very watchable. Like, don't get me wrong. Maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh on the film. It's definitely not horrible. It's okay. It's just falls short of being good. It's definitely, I wouldn't call it good. I'd call it okay. It's watchable. I never really wanted to turn it off at any time, but it is kind of predictable and unoriginal as well. So I can't really score it any higher than a 7, and that goes for the mediocre acting as well. Now, onto the spoilers very, very quickly. For those of you that actually want to see the film, go ahead and watch it. Close the window now. You've got my 7 out of 13 score, so you can move on. If you don't want to watch it or you've already seen it, then stick around for the spoilers. So the attempted twist at the end is the pledges that are actually being tortured by these three boys aren't the actual pledges. It turns out it's a secret society or a secret social club, whatever. We don't actually find out what it is, but there is a lot more to it. But the three guys doing the torturing are actually the pledges themselves. As we see in the end, when there's a big final showdown between the pledges and the guys doing the torturing, there's a big fight sequence, the guys are trying to defend themselves, the other guys are trying to kill them, and this big group of guys with long coats come out with a button of like some sort of like peace symbol, but it's actually obviously the secret club symbol. So obviously there's like a secret society thing going on. They've been watching the entire time. They make this huge circle around the boys, and the only person that gets killed are one of the torturers or the leader, the antagonist of the group, who gets killed by the chubby guy from the pledge group. And then when the chubby guy And when the chubby guy actually stabs him to death, he gets a pin dropped at his feet, kind of as a sign of acceptance, or as an invitation into this social club, or as a successful initiation process, or something like that. So it pretty much cuts right there. The credits start rolling. So all we know is there is a secret society, and maybe they were all kind of pledges. You had your group of torturers, and you had your group of just the pledges that are seeking social acceptance. So whatever was in their heads, we don't actually know, but all we know is one of the pledges, the chubbier guy, is actually accepted into the social club. We assume, because a pin is dropped at his feet, and it's the symbol of the secret society, which all of the guys in the cloaks have on their collars. That's it for Pledge. It's a 7 out of 13. It's not something that I'd recommend that you must watch, but if you're kind of bored, or you're flicking through things, you're not too sure what to watch, you like horror, you like college fraternity type films, then maybe this is just worth checking out, with friends, having a couple of beers, whatever. Check it out. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want more reviews and some gaming videos. Playing a lot of Diablo 3, so make sure you check those videos out. And if you don't want to subscribe, it's all good. Just come back and visit this hairy face again in the near future. Love you all. Catch us real soon.